This show is definitely unique in its design approach. We felt early on to make this show very dimensional, and it was because of that relational aspect. Jesus is a relationship for many of the people who are going to come and see this show. And so with that challenge that I brought to the team, I shared an example of a Viewmaster.
If you remember the old Viewmasters that you'd just click on the side and you'd look at the image through it, and it would have all this depth. You'd see the foreground, you'd see the midground, and you'd see the background, and it looked like it was so real.
And when I shared that example to the team, they got it. They're like, we understand what that means. That led us on to bringing dimension to our stage like we've never done before.
So we actually started to incorporate LED technology and created an LED screen for the show to give that last layer of depth. That created the layers that we needed and creates a storytelling element or a storytelling space that the audience can really feel themselves in.
Once we decided that we were going to have an LED screen, an important part is not just the LED screen, but how scenically things are playing with it. So you'll see in several scenes there's a wide grass mound that gives us lots of opportunities to play on levels and things like that. But one of the things it really does scenically is it really gives you a grounding in your foreground. Sermon on the Mount, that scene, you'll see people scattered all over the set piece, but they're not on stage, they're on a set piece, which is a nice way of really establishing depth.
For the story of Jesus, there's a lot of times where we have boat movement and boat action.
You know, so the adventure and the romanticism of boats and the sea, you know, that was something that was exciting about this particular story because the disciples spent a lot of time traveling by foot, but they also spent a lot of time traveling by boat.
But as we looked at the needs for the story, there were two particular scenes that we were developing that needed boats that could actually be up off the floor at some height, not just a couple feet, but 8–10 feet off the floor.
So this is where engineering and art hit and they collide. So working really closely with engineering, they came up with a cool scissors lift and hydraulic kind of thing that allows to move up and down significantly to really mimic a storm for walking on water.
When these guys get into the docks of Capernaum with their boats, these guys, these fishermen who have so much bravado and competitiveness, and so we wanted to create this kind of, you know, battle of the alphas on the docks of Capernaum. And so we literally built and designed the entire set piece around their fight.
So in order to do that, we actually have to build those elements into the sets. So before the sets even hit the artistic world, we've actually worked through what we want each of those elements in the fight to be, and then we have to build them into those sets as they're being designed artistically, and then technically, and then physically on the stage.
We were intentional around making the temple feel massive. But the heart of that space is what is wrecked, you know, Jesus, and made him to upset tables and get everybody's attention and say, you guys are using this for the wrong purposes.
One of the things we had pursued for Last Supper was a simple table on stage, and it was more of a focus just of the disciples and Jesus. What we found is the story to continue to progress, we needed some other tools. So it turned into one of our larger set pieces. It's artists and it's engineers and it's designers all kind of sitting around the table. How do we tell this incredible story together? And it's a unique opportunity to tell a story like we do on stage, but especially the story of Jesus.
We have the best design team that we could ever ask for. And what makes them so incredible, I think, is just that X factor of being like-minded, you know, like with the producer and the director. They truly want to get and capture the vision, and for that alone, incredibly proud of the team.